Guidelines in preparing quality communication aids. The first rule of presentation aids is that they must be accessible for every audience member. If those in the back of the room cannot see, hear, or otherwise experience a presentation aid, then it's counterproductive to use it. Graphic elements in your presentation aids must be large and enough to read. Audio must be loud enough to hear. Text-based visuals, charts, and graphs need to be executed with strong, clean lines and blocks of colors. Weak lines in a graph or illustrations do not get stronger with magnification. Carefully limit the amount of text on a presentation aid. If a great deal of text is absolutely necessary, try to divide it between 2 slides or poster. Number 2. They should be easily handled. You should be able to carry your presentation aids into the room by yourself. Number 3. They should be aesthetically pleasing. For our purposes, aesthetic refers to the beauty or good taste of a presentation aid. The universal principles of good designs are the following: unity, emphasis or the focal point, scale and proportion, balance and rhythm. Because of wide differences in taste, not everyone will agree on what is aesthetically pleasing is. And you may be someone who does not think of yourself as having much artistic talent. Still, if you keep these principles in mind, they will help you to create attractive, professional-looking visuals. Number 4. Text type must only be used when needed. Use text only when you must. For example, if you are presenting an analysis on the First Amendment, it is permissible to display the text on the First Amendment, but not your entire analysis. Number 5. Control the size and lines of graphic images. If you create your graphic images, you will have control over their size and visible strength of the lines. However, you might want to show your listeners an illustrations that you can create yourself. For instance, you might want to display a photograph of a portion of the Dead Sea Scrolls. First, you need to find a way to enlarge the photograph. Then, to show integrity, cite your source. Number 6. Computer presentation should be used purposefully. Do not put your entire speech on PowerPoint slides or other visuals. Certain rules should be observed. Watch your font. One of the biggest mistakes novice users of professional software make is thinking that if you can read it on the screen, your audience will be able to read in their seats. Don't write everything out. In addition to watching your font size, you also need to watch how you use words on the screen. Do not try to put too much information on a slide. Make sure that your slide has appropriate information to support your point that you are making and no more. We strongly recommend avoiding complete sentences on a slide unless you need to display a very important direct quotation. Don't bow down to the software. Remember, presentation software is an aid, so it should be aid, not hinder your presentation. Use appropriate slide colors. Color is very important and can definitely make a strong impact on an audience. Use proper slide movements. Everyone who has had an opportunity to experiment with PowerPoint knows that animation in transitions between slides or even on a single slide can be fun. But often people do not realize that too much movement can actually distract audience members. Practice using the technology. It is vital to practice using the technology. Nothing is worse than watching a speaker stand up and not know how to turn on the computer, access the software, or launch his or her presentation. When you use technology, audiences can quickly see if you know what you are doing. Number 7, and the last, always have a backup plan. Things often go wrong. One of the parts of being a professional is keeping the speech moving in spite of unexpected problems. Decide in advance what you will do if things break down or disappear, right when you need them. Don't count on your instructor to solve such predicaments.
Hi, my name is Kirk Joshua Halia and I'm going to discuss about creating modal text. What does creating modal text means? Creating is defined in the Australian curriculum as the development or production of spoken, written or multimodal text in print or digital forms and is an embedded literacy expectation across all disciplines. Multimodal. Multimodal is defined in the Australian curriculum as the strategic use of two or more communication modes to make meaning, for example, image, gesture, music, spoken language, and written language. What is a multimodal text? Well, the development of multimodal literacy is strongly associated with the growth of digital communication technologies. Multimodal is not synonymous with digital. The choice of media for multimodal text creation is therefore always an important consideration. Here are the examples of multimodal text. Creating multimodal text. First is a multimodal text can be paper, such as books, comics, posters, and a multimodal text can also be digital, from slide presentations, e-books, blogs, e-posters, web pages, and social media, through to animation, film, and video games. And lastly, the multimodal text can be live, a performance, or an event.
So what is essay in writing? Essay. An essay is a piece of writing that is written to convince someone of something or to simplify, inform to the readers about the particular topic. In order the reader to convince or inform, the essay must include several important components. Make it flow in a logical way. Example, an academic essay is a focused piece of writing that develops an idea or argument using evidence, analysis, and interpretation. There are many types of essays you might write as a student. The content and length of an essay depends on your level, subject of study, and course requirements. The characteristic of an essay. So the first one is focus. An essay should have a single clear central idea. So the focus refers to the main idea of the text. One way to determine this main idea is to figure out the purpose of your essay. An essay should do more than give you a grade. For example, it can persuade an audience, argue a point, or inform a reader. So the next one is development. Each paragraph should be related, support, or expand the central idea of the paper. So the importance of plan of development in an essay is essentially to give you a follow plan. It does help in writing of your essay, and it is draft of what your essay should look like before you even begin with writing your rough draft. So development is how writers should to evaluate or elaborate their main ideas. Typically, we should development with details because the specific help make generalization, the main idea, claim, or the thesis more concrete. So the next one is the unity. The unity, every paragraph in an essay should be related to the main idea. So the unity is the idea that has a part of the writing work to achieve the same goal, providing the thesis. And just as the content of a paragraph should focus on a topic sentence, the content of an essay must focus on the thesis. So, this concept is essentially in writing work because it allows the readers to understand the work. It helps the reader quickly understand how the ideas flow throughout a document. So, the next one is the coherence. An essay or a paper should be organized logically, flow smoothly, and stick together. So, coherence is achieved when sentence or an idea are connected and flow together smoothly. An essay without coherence can inhibit a writer's ability to understand the ideas and main point of the essay. So, coherence describes the way of the element in our sentences, and paragraphs hang together to produce the meaning. Usually, when we write through drafts, we are concerned mainly with getting our throughout on paper, not with making sure that they interconnect so that the reader can process our reasoning easily. So the next one is correctness. A paper should be written in generally correct standard English with complete sentences and be relatively error-free. So correctness is a grammar and punctuation provide the logical structure for written work. Attention to grammar and function would help ensure a coherent and logical final product, and one that has professional polish. Get into the habit of analyzing your writing for technical correctness. So, using conventional grammar, spelling, and function. Since most writers have problem with only particular types of spelling, grammar, and or function errors, you should read throughout your final drafts carefully, looking for those errors which you frequently commit. So, the next one is narrative. Narrative, creative a language using presenting a complete narrative. An essay is a piece of writing that is written to convince someone of something or to simplify, inform the reader. Narrative essay tells a story. In most cases, this is a story about personal experience you had. So this type of essay, along with the descriptive essay, allows you to get personal and creative, unlike most academic writing. So yung narrative daw is a essay that includes a story about a personal experience told from the author's perspective. Storytelling elements are used to engage the reader and reveal the point of theme of the story. So, the next one is describing. Creative language use describing sensory details. So, for most people, describing is a way of illustrating something with words. You can describe a feeling, a sound, or even an emotion. Descriptive essays are just the same. They help you illustrate something in a way that your readers can see, feel, or hear whatever is it you're talking about. So the next one is expository. Creative language, knowledge, or a topic communicating information clearly. So the expository means intended to explain or describing something, just like in describing. An expository essay provides a clear, focused explanation of a particular topic, process, or a set of ideas. It doesn't set out to prove a main point, just to give a balance to view or a subject matter. So, expository writing is a writing that aims to inform its reader. As we mentioned above, this includes all types of factual writing like textbooks, news stories, technical guides, and pieces of business writing. So the last one is a reflective, to provide a platform for the author to not only recount a particular life experience but to also explore how or she exchange or learn from those experiences. So, a critical reflection, also called a reflective essay, is a process of identifying, questioning, and assessing our deeply held assumptions about our knowledge, the way we perceive events and issues, our beliefs, feelings, and actions.
Now let's move on to the next part, which is the parts of an essay. We have 3 parts for the essay. The first one is introduction, followed by the body, and the last one is the conclusion. For the introduction, we should have a catchy title for our introduction to catch attention and to encourage our reader to read. Now, it can be written in a form of question, or it can be written in a form of declarative sentence. Then we need to include the background information. We just need a little bit background information about your essay. And then the thesis statement. A thesis statement is simply your topic or your main idea to what your essay is going to be about. Next is the body. Here in the body, we need to add the total information that will support our thesis statement. So it should be connected. The last one is conclusion. In the conclusion, this is just a summary of our key points in our essay. You also need to rephrase your thesis statement to recall the reader what they just read. Thank you.